almost 2 weeks ago now, I was pulling a trailer with a cow dog here to a event 20 miles away, and got down there in the morning. All's well. Pulled the trailer great. The 16-foot box trailer for Trail Life Troop. We got everything set up we're going to do, and had to go to lunch. So I drive 18 miles back, get some food, get in the truck after sitting for 15 minutes, fire it up, and my Dakota Digital VHX, Victor Hotel X-ray, digital gauge system, I'll show later, was displaying EEE, and it said H2O temp. EEE is flashing at me. Like, what the heck? Gauge is on 0, or 140, as low as this one goes. I turn the truck off, I get out, I look, there's no coolant anywhere. My coolant is right where it's supposed to be. My coolant sensor is plugged in, but this is the wire that was on the end of that one. You can kind of see it's raw right there. It just doesn't, it feels very, very, that's not going to focus. It just feels wrong. Okay, so I bent this over a little bit, fired it back up, still had EEE. All right. So I go back to the event. We do the event. Truck sits for 3 or 4 hours. Load everything back up, and I come out. I check it, and I had this thing bent over, kind of like that, or straight. Fired up. I'm perfect. Gauge, no more EEE. The gauge is working. Huh? The end of the thing's just bad. Cats probably. I'm just figuring cats move this wire around a bunch. So while I was there, I had my iPad. I look up on Dakota Digital. I saved the owner's manual for the VHS gauges to PDF on my iPad. I look it up and I'm reading it, and it says EEE means it's an open circuit. So one of these wires is wrong. It is not connected probably. And I did not check it or ohm it or anything else. And I had a cat messing with my tripod. It's just wrong. And it was dash, dash, dash. That means a short circuit. So open circuit to me meant busted wire. Okay. Some reason, Dakota Digital's website, if I try logging in, about 1/3 of the times I try the last few months, I get access denied because it's a Mexican, who knows what. It's a safety concern according to Apple on my iPad. So I just Googled Dakota Digital. I think it's S-04-5 is the part number for the temperature sensor. They use the same one for all their stuff. And looked it up. First hit I got was Amazon. You get a whole new wire thing and another sensor for like $29. What a bargain. I ordered that. That showed up a week ago, I don't know, 3 or 4 days later. Truck is cool. I swap in the sensor, this one, and I'll get to that in a second. Actually, what I did first was I thought it was the plug, but it came with the sensor. But the more I thought, oh yeah, when I got home, it worked all the way home. I got home, I zip tied the wire so it's going to stay in one spot. Fired it back up, it worked. I went and unhooked the trailer. While unhooking the trailer, it went back to EEE again. And the wire hadn't moved. So then it's like, okay, the sensor's shorting out. So a wire and a sensor, around $30. Amazon Prime. Okay, great. It shows up. I do the plug first. And I'll show it in a second. I'll just show and tell here. I figure, okay, the sensor's bad. And the sensor I had from Dakota Digital, I bought it 7 years ago now. It's really short. Yeah, it's a 04-5 sensor, 100 degree to 300 degree. The sensor that came with it, I've always been kind of, I think it's reading a little bit hot, but it's been close enough that I didn't really worry about it. So and the one I got, this one, had a little machine mark in it. I'm going to bring in a zoom in here in a second. I put this one in, went for a drive. I have a 195 degree thermostat. I have it set to where I just look at the gauge and the display. Mine's the older one that you only get one display on each side, one on the tach and one on the speedometer. And the only one that really does anything is I got for my trip mileage. But if I get over, I set it to 210 degrees coolant temperature. If I get over that, it starts flashing the number at me. That way I know I'm over 210. You can only set it in 10 degree increments. So I have 200, which I'm over all the time, 210, which I'm rarely over unless I'm pulling a trailer or out in the mountains. And I don't want to set 220 because then trouble's happening. It's too late to know anything about it. So I take it for a drive, and starts flashing 210, 211, 212. At 215, it starts going back down again. It's like, what the heck? I'm just driving 40 miles an hour on a back road. I'm not even in the power. The transmission's still below 100 degrees, and the engine oil's still below 100 degrees. What the heck? It gets, the thing knocks off my display. It comes right back up again. So I kept on driving, did about 20 miles. The thing was reading exactly 20 degrees over the thermostat temperature. It's like, okay, so this thing is too long. It was like this then. It's too long. Maybe I need to shut it down or shorten it. So I did that. Let me take you in closer here. This is the one I had in there. It was reading 20 degrees too high according to what my thermostat is. I cut it off. And it says on the website you can cut it off. But all I got inside was a hollow tube, a couple of wires I cut, and some white goo. That's not good. So for the first time since the thing on Dakota Digital's website and on the Amazon thing said it could be cut at the machine mark. It could be cut. Can you see that machine mark? Cut it off. It's like, I called Dakota Digital. And they told me there should not be any of those parts out there that are hollow that cannot be cut off. But we've heard that somebody is making these under our name or sell them under our name that will do that. And he says, what size threads do you have? I said, well, it's the 1/8 NPT. It's what you guys sent me. But I have a spacer in there. I think my cylinder head port is a 1/2 NPT. And he goes, okay, he gave me a VDO part number to get from O'Reilly's. He said, that's a single wire. All you got to do is just break out the red wire, get rid of the plug, put the red wire on it, and it'll ground through the sensor. And it'll be more accurate because the little bushing I have in there to go from what turned out to be, no, this is a quarter. This is 1/4 NPT. I thought I had 1/2, but instead I got 3/8. Yeah, I got 3/8 NPT ports. The guy told me that some people have troubles with a bushing on here getting heat sinking, making it display hotter. So I called him back up again. Once I went to a spare cylinder head and measured it, nope, I got 3/8 NPT. And he told me, all right, since you already bought a replacement that has our name on Amazon, I told him again, I bought it on Amazon. It says under Dakota Digital. I said, yes. He goes, okay, you already bought it. And it's a bad part. We'll send you a new one. So this showed up yesterday in the mail. I'm going to leave it full length. I'm going to install it, and I'm going to see what my temperature is. I'm going to take you along for a ride as we warm up and see what we do. So, show what I did to it. My nice clean wiring down here. You can see my plug, or the tape right through here. That's where I spliced in the end. And since this is a cold engine, this is the original failing plug, but I put something there to keep the coolant in. I'll show you how short that one is. But you can see this is the one cut off. It's bad. This is the supposedly solid one that I can cut and not worry about having white goo inside. I'm going to try it full length, and we'll see what happens. But you can see the length of these. And I looked online, a lot of people have, especially with the LS guys, the guys that have I got to move you over a little bit. The LS people, they have the computer given their OBD2 temperature reading, and a lot of them say they're getting 20 degrees too high with the Dakota Digital. Okay, so here's the one that failed on me. You can see the length. I don't remember cutting that one off. So if I cut it, it's the same length as what I had before. I'm hoping that the longer the sensor in there, the less heat sink I'll get, the more coolant flows by, and it'll be actual coolant. You notice I didn't lose much coolant there because I have a cold engine. The caps are all on, the radiator cap is on, and I just swapped it really quick. I lost a little bit of coolant, but it was just a few drops. I can barely smell it, and that's even on my hands. All right. About where I want it. I'm going to go a little more. Need to go 90 degrees. A little more. Okay. Now we'll plug right in to where I had it. And that should allow me to put all this stuff in the truck. And we get to fire it up and go for a drive. So here is the only way I can do this is to fire it up with you still on the tripod. All right. Change out the cinder. Fire this thing up. It's cold. It is, what is it? 58 degrees in here. Whoops. Glow plugs are not coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. 15 seconds. 51 degrees. I don't have EEE, which is good. So move you back over here. See if I can get in the truck with the camera without turning it off. Go for a ride. Let's see. Get my seatbelt on one-handed. All right. Haven't turned it off yet. That's good. We're just going to go for a warm it up drive. Transmission was 51 degrees. My thing says we're 51 degrees. There's a transmission saying 51 degrees. Engine's below 100. I was wrong. It reads from 100 to 260. That's a 90-degree sweep. And apparently they have a newer, not a VHX, but another version that is a 270-degree sweep. Now, you're probably, if you looked, my voltage over here is 13.6 battery, second from the bottom on the right. Over here, I'm at 15 volts. I don't know why that is. That has troubled me forever. That has just bugged the daylights out of me. Why my voltages are not the same. When I check the batteries, this one is accurate. So my transmission controller somehow shortened me on voltage. Whatever. All right, the Dakota digital gauges. I love them. As you can see, they're easy to read. They're accurate. They just work. And you can adjust the speedometer to adjust it however you wish to, and the tach as well. I've tried using GPS to figure out an exact mile to do it that way, but I forget what trip it was. But one time I just stopped at a mile marker post on the interstate. Turn the truck, as you have to turn the truck off, hold one of the buttons, turn it on to get it to go to the edit mode, or whatever they call it, the calibration mode. And I did that. Went exactly 1 mile, stopped at the next mile marker, bumper up against it, got out of calibrate mode, and my speedometer has been exact ever since. I like that. All right, the temperature gauge is off 100. Oh, the fast idle just went away in the engine, so we're above 94 degrees according to the 6.5 diesel fast idle control circuit. That's good. Transmission's up to 59 degrees. Engine oil is still just above 100. And you can make it so the Dakota Digital blinkers are in the gauge cluster. I chose not to do that. I did it with the regular spot. It was going along nice and easy, 130 degrees. We'll see if it stops around 195 to 200 on the gauge. Transmission's up to 60. Engine oil's up to 125. All right, there on the far right. Seatbelt came undone. I guess I didn't get it right one-handed. Okay, almost 140 in the engine. Gotta slow down for a curve here. Sorry about the Benson camera. Much potholed back road. I'm hoping that I don't care about heat sink when the engine's off. Once you fire it up, the temperature gauge will, once you get the coolant out of the cylinder head, it'll adjust real quick. But um, the probe, the sensor being into the coolant flow more, should give me a better idea of what the coolant temperature is. That's why I like the longer sensor idea. Okay, we're up to 160. Transmission's a 72. Engine's still at 125 oil. This thing has 4 or 5 gallons of coolant. It takes a long time to warm up. You can see it's still cold. My oil pressure is at 80 or 60, and it's normally at 50 when it's warmed up. We went to 180. We're indicating around the 195 spot now. I got a curve. I go back to holding you over here. And we're blowing up to 200. Let's see if we go past 200. Right about here on the road, which you can't really tell anything different, is where it was showing me 210 last time I came through here. We're past 200 already. I guess it's colder today. Okay, looks like the long sensor is not what I need to have because we're going past 200. We're past 200, but I'm not getting a warning over here. Almost at 220. In the past, when the first two and the 102 is covered, I'm at 210. So I don't think I'm at 210 because my transmission is still at 86 and my engine oil is still below 150. But we are definitely indicating hotter than we were before. But now we went back down again. Like below 200. I got traffic. Interesting. Let's see where it goes to. It's down to below 200. Okay, it's still reading hot, but it's not that hot. Maybe my thermostat is getting sticky. I never got the 210 warning. So we're not 20 degrees over, but we're probably actually at 210. We never got above 210 indicated, which means if we're 10 degrees off, that would still be 200, would still be 210. So we're probably less than 10 degrees indicated too hot, but we're showing 200 there. And the autometer gauge I have on the 715, the 270 degree sweep mechanical temperature sensor, the 6.2 rides at 200 to 204 all the time. This is about what we're indicating right now. So, all right. Did this 24-minute video because my one failed sensor after 7 years and 30 some odd thousand miles. Not bad. And the customer service I got when I bought the replacement from Amazon, Dakota Digital sent me a free part. They paid for shipping, and they were super nice about it. They still have my information from 7 years ago. 8 years ago, I'm sorry. I bought it in 17. We are in 25 right now. See, I'm over 200. I'm at 225 or something like that. So I'm indicating too hot. But we're at a stop sign here. But Dakota Digital did good customer service. Maybe I'll cut it down and do another video.